Hello students, good morning to all. So today our first class after the first periodic test exam, and most of the students have done well in the first periodic test exam. So as we all are knowing that there is some change in the exam pattern of the CBSE, that is the class 9th, 10th and 11th, 12th. So since you are the students of class 10, so we will discuss about the exam pattern, which is the change exam pattern of the CBSE, and there is some change in the syllabus also. So first of all we see the syllabus for the term 1. What are the chapters and what are the topics you have to study for the term 1, and what type of the pattern of the exam. So this since this time your academic term is divided into two terms, term 1 and term 2. So the 50% syllabus, see your academic term is divided into two portions. Okay, that is the term 1 and term 2. So term 1 and term 2. So 50% syllabus here. 50% syllabus will come in term 1. So 50% syllabus, students, 50% syllabus will come in term 1 and 50% syllabus will come in term 2. Okay. So the first exam term 1 should be of MCQ type. So this exam will be the multiple choice question type, MCQ type question. Time will be 90 minutes. 90 minutes. So 90 minutes exam will be the term 1, in which you will get all the multiple choice question, MCQ type question you will get, and the exam duration is 90 minutes, that is 1.5 hours. Okay. So what type of the MCQ question we get in the term 1? Two type of MCQ question will be asked in the term 1. Two types. First is case based. Case based. Case based MCQ. Case based. Second one is assertion reasoning. Second one is assertion reasoning. So here is a case based, when some problems will be given, so some paragraph will be given. According to that case based question, some question will be asked. Assertion reason means here also again you get some statements. According to that statements, you have to apply your reasoning and apply the and you have to find the suitable answer for that assertion. So assertion means here some statements will be given there. According to that, you have to conclude some answer. Some result we have to conclude. So case based question and assertion reasoning questions you will get. Now you will get the OMR sheet. What you will get in the term 1 exam from the board will provide you the OMR sheet. That is the optical mark method, OMR sheet, in which the suppose 4 options are there, so you will get the 4 options. Suppose 4 options, 4 circle you will get. For A, circle A. If the answer is option B, so you circle B. If the answer is option C, so you circle C. If the answer is option D, you circle D. So in the OMR sheet, so this 90 numbers will be there, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and you will get the circles like that. So suppose the question number 1 answer is B. So what you do? You will circle. You will fill the circle B. You will fill the circle B. Like this, we have to give the term 1 exam. Okay. And the term 2 exam is the subjective type. It is the written exam. Term 2 exam is the subjective type, and term 2 will be of 2 hours. This term 2 exam will be of 2 hours, and here you will base 3 type of question in term 2. Okay, so I am going to erase this portion. Okay, now see in the term 2, three types of question in term 2 will be asked. Here you will get the three types of question. First, second. So in term 2, three types of question will be there. First is the case based question. Case based question. Second is short or long question. Short or long question. Short or long question. And third is situation based question. Situation based. So in the term 2, that is a paper of 2 hours. Duration will be of time for term 2 is 2 hours. And three type of questions that we ask in the term 2 exam. It is a subjective exam, written exam, case based question, short or long question, short answer type question, long answer type question, and the situation based question. Some statement and problems will be given, and according to that some question will be asked. Okay, so this is the exam pattern of term 1 and term 2. Now when this term 1 and term 2 exam will be held by the CBSE, so the time. So in November to December, term 1 exam will be held between November to December. November to December. So term 1 exam will be held by the CBSE board between November to December. And term 2 exam will be held between March to April. So November to December 2021. And term 2 exam will be March to April. March to April 2022. So term 2 exam will be held in March and between March and April of 2022. That is the exam timing. Term 1 exam, again I am repeating student, term 1 exam will be held by the CBSE board now between November and December 2021. This exam will be of objective time, exam duration 90 minutes, and you will get the multiple choice question. All question will be multiple choice. Now see why this pattern is followed. If suppose due to the third wave or fourth wave of the corona, in the pandemic situation, if government is not able to handle the term 2 exam, so the same percentage what you got in the term 1, that will be given in the term 2. Means your result will be prepared on the basis of the term 1. Now suppose if the term 1 is not held, if the term 1 exam is not held, then term 2 will come, then your result will be prepared on the basis of the term 2 exam. If both exam is not held, then your result will be prepared on the basis of the class 9th marks and the pre-board and your school internal exam. What you have given your PT1, PT2 and half an exam you give in the school. According to that basis it will be prepared. Okay. So now we discuss the syllabus. That what will be asked in the first term 1 syllabus. Now that we will see. So what we have to study in term 1? Now see the term 1 syllabus. So 2 units in the term 1 Here the serial number, unit name, and the marks. How many marks question will be asked on that unit. Okay. For the term 1, there is 2 units. In the term 1, 2 units in the syllabus. First is cyber ethics. Cyber ethics, and from this 10 marks question will be asked. How many marks question? See, in the first term there is 2 units, cyber ethics and HTML. Second unit is HTML. Okay, so from cyber ethics 10 marks question will be asked in the term 1, and from the HTML 15 marks question will be asked in the. Now the term 1 exam will be conducted of how many marks? 25 marks. So this term 1 exam which you give, that will be of total 25 marks. Okay, 15 plus 10, 25 marks. So means your total marks, the exam which you give for the term 1, total written exam will be 25. And the remaining 25 marks will be the practical. Okay. So the term 1 you now practical. Now the practical will be of the 25 marks. In the term 2, 2 practicals will be held. Practical marks. Third is also the practical mark. The practical in this we will come add. Third is the practical. And the practical will be of 25 marks. How many? 25 marks. In that also we will discuss today that which chapter will be covered in the practical. So that also we will discuss now. Now after that, see the exercise. What are the topics you need to study in the cyber ethics and HTML? Okay. What will you see? Now see the cyber ethics. What are the topics we have to study in cyber ethics? Okay, so 10 marks cyber ethics questions are there. And so what are the topics in the cyber ethics you have to study? So the topic, first topic in cyber ethics you have to study net etiquettes. Etiquettes means what are the behavior you have to follow, what are the discipline you have to follow. Means etiquette means good behavior. So what good behavior you follow while using the internet, while surfing the net? By surfing the network, what behavior, good behavior you have to follow. That is the etiquettes. Second topic in software licenses. All software licenses you have to study. Software licenses and the open source software movement. Software licenses and open source. movement. Okay, open source software movement. Third topic is intellectual property. Intellectual property rights. Intellectual property rights. Plagiarism and digital property right. Plagiarism and digital property rights. And digital property right. And digital property right. Okay. And digital property rights. So what we have to study in this? See, in cyber ethics, which topic we have to study? First is net etiquette, means good behavior while using the internet that you have to follow. Software licenses, many licenses are there. Open, copyright license is there. Okay. Means the person who have got the license, they can only copy the software and sell it in the market. That is different types of licenses are there. So paid license means no one can use it. Copyright means without permission, without paying the fees, without paying the license fees, no one can use it. Open source software movement means there are many software which is open source. Open source means here that is not free. Open source here means some software which is open to the persons for the development. For the development in the software you can do the development. You can use the update if you want to able to do the modification. So for the development of that software you can give your contribution. Intellectual property rights means many property rights are there. So if you have made a new software, so you can go for the patent. That is the intellectual property right. So you can register in the concerned department for taking the patent. So other companies, other software engineers cannot make such type of software. Next is the plagiarism, copying. So if you are copying any source, any code from the internet or any research from the internet, so you have to cite there, you have to do the citation. Means you have to mention that from where you have taken. So you cannot use another works. You cannot use another work that it is your own creation. But if you will be caught in the plagiarism, so you have to face the trial. Next is digital property right. Digital property rights means whatever the things you are creating with the help of the computers, making video, making songs, okay, so making any software, all other digital property rights, your photos, photographs, whatever you put, your documents which you saved over the cloud or in computer, all these are digital property rights. So about all this we have to study in the terminal syllabus. Now after that, freedom of information and the digital divide. Fourth topic is, after that I am going to delete imaging. Now fourth is freedom of information. Freedom of information. And the digital divide. And freedom of information and the digital divide. Fifth one, e-commerce. So what we have to study in the e-commerce? Privacy, fraud, secure data transfer. So these are the things, these 5 topics you have to study in the cyber ethics. So in the freedom of information and digital divide, freedom for information means all information should be accessed by person from anywhere. I mean there should be the good network infrastructure and which should be in the reach of the every people of the country. Next is digital divide. Digital divide means some states have a good network and some states and some villages have no network. There is no optical fiber cable is deployed in that area. So that is called the digital divide. So that area's people would be disconnected from the digital information because they cannot access the internet. They cannot access the e-government services, means electronic governance services. They cannot visit the government portal from where they can get the information. E-commerce means electronic commerce, the business which is done online. So in that we have to study the privacy, how the privacy of the persons can be checked, and fraud, how different types of frauds are done on the online, how you secure your data transmission if you are sending your data over the one computer to the other computer. So how you secure your data by using the encryption that we have studied in the chapters. Okay. So this is all for today's students. In the next class we will discuss the topic which will be covered in the HTML second unit. Okay. So this is all for today. Thank you for your kind attention.